I'm Juan Hapes, and I want to talk about on the anatomy, structure, and function of the adolescent brain. I created a slide show here that talks about some of the major brain regions and their functions, and especially the most important ones during adolescent development. Prefrontal cortex is particularly important, as is the limbic system, since they tend to have a lot to do with processing emotion and memory, and they grow significantly during adolescence. I mentioned a couple critical brain development processes. I included a more detailed cross-section of the brain with some other parts that were not mentioned in previous parts of the presentation. But what's important is the takeaways here. So the reason that adolescents are impulsive is that their prefrontal cortex has not been fully developed, and their emotional responses are more intense because the limbic system matures before the prefrontal cortex. And what's important for the stakeholders and adults in their lives to understand is that something that they can help. So we have to be aware of this so that we can provide them the support that they need.
All right. Hello, my name is Shantae, and my part of the project focused on understanding adolescent brain development and how it informs instruction. We explored how changes in the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system can impact students' behavior, emotions, and cognitive abilities. These insights remind us to scaffold learning, build SEL into our lessons, and foster environments that support growth during these pivotal years.
Hi, I'm Victoria Garigliano, and my part of the project was to focus on some of the methods of instruction, collecting or connecting students to brain changes in adolescence. Some of these are to increase self-awareness, recognition, and regulation. A lot of these things have to do with connecting the students more to different projects that they relate to, whether it be at home, in the classroom, on the field. If they feel more connected to it, it will help their engagement and overall learning. The second part of my project included instructional strategies and activities to maximize decision making, problem solving, and learning. A lot of those were very similar to the first grouping. Problem-based learning is a great way to get students more involved, more focused, as well as inquiry-based learning. Anything to get the students more involved in their education. And then as well as collaborative activities. I also added some other strategies and ideas, but really just getting them as involved as possible in their learning.
Okay. Hi, my name is Shaquem Roberts, and the part that I worked on is how technology can facilitate and empower adolescents' learning, as well as the effect technology has on the brain. So when technology is used efficiently, it can greatly enhance adolescent learning and empower students with knowledge and foster deeper engagement. Tools that help this is tools like Google Classroom, which allows structured learning as well as communication and feedback between students and educators. Other tools are Edpuzzles, which is educational platforms that allow students to grasp concepts through videos. Videos are paused at certain points to make sure students grasp the knowledge that's presented. Another tool that is used is Kahoot, which is a game platform that transforms studying into an enjoyable experience. And it allows immediate feedback for students. The impact that technology has on the brain is it can increase social and emotional development for students, as well as increase gray matter volume, better academic performance, improve selective memory, and enhance visual motor skills. Uh, it also helps students to have anxiety or stress by making games by using tools that are gamified. It takes off the stresses of learning. You can leave it at that.
And so when we were looking back and reflecting on our project, we reflected on the strategies of collaboration, and we asked ourselves what we would do differently. And so off the bat, we used the chat that was available through the GCU portal to communicate and delegate tasks. But a couple of things we agreed that we would do differently. We would all choose from the beginning to either do a doc or a PowerPoint so that we wouldn't have to go back and make sure we're all on the same page to be able to make our collaboration. And we'd also probably start earlier on the actual project, not just the communication.
Okay, so we're describing how this type of collaboration between teachers and school staff would build a shared vision and supportive culture for all students in the learning community. And I feel that collaborating in this way mirrors the power of professional learning communities in schools. When teachers unify their expertise, we build on a more supportive, inclusive culture that uplifts every student.
Yes, and I agree. I also think the more students see teachers and staff collaborating together, the more open they'll be to collaborating both with other students, teachers, and staff as well.
I believe that as we're able to draw, get ideas from different teachers, we're only able to enhance our students' education, which only helps them in turn.
That concludes the presentation. Thank you for your time.